Yo, what's up, people? This is Rodney Jones from In the Paint Sports. And tonight's going to be an interesting one. Waiting for some people to call in and join me. And I got my man Marshall. What's up, Marshall?
Hey, what's up?
I'm good, man. How you feeling, brother?
Not too bad. We got some news
hmm
after on this Monday, April Fool's Day. That's not actually April Fool's.
Okay.
We got the coach of Belmont, Rick Byrd, who announced his retirement after 805 wins. He finally did get his first NCAA victory in the tournament just this year. I mean, most of his victories were in the NIA, but still, if you win 100 games in 33 years, that's not a failure. And I think just to let him know, just say congratulations. He's had a great career and certainly a great basketball coach. Also, too, that I did see that North Carolina's, I believe, Nasir Little, I think is his name. He declared for the draft as well as another player from Iowa State.
hmm
So that's going to be starting soon, where players are going to declare for the draft.
Okay. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I appreciate that. That NCAA tournament is really something else. And I see you, Dom, brother Dominic. That's in the queue as well. Our brother Max 611 is here as well. Thank you for joining me tonight. Yeah, I know you guys are happy. Well, probably most of you are happy that Duke actually lost against Michigan State.
They did lose. I mean, Kentucky unfortunately came up a little short. Some
Right.
other news too. You're going to find this interesting. UCLA made a very large bid to get John Calipari to coach. He turned him down. I heard it was like $9 million a year.
Okay.
He turned him down. Wow. I think Kentucky made him a better offer, and he said, "I'm going to stick with them."
Kentucky made him a lifetime offer.
Yep, and it's like, would you take it if it was him? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all the power that he has already, so why not?
Yeah, it's like
lifetime contract. For sure.
UCLA wants to be relevant again, and I think they've got a little jealousy since the 90s. They've fallen off, haven't been to the level where Duke, Michigan State, Kentucky, Carolina have been, and they want to be back in that elite level, and they've kind of slipped a little bit, in my opinion.
Oh, no, there's no doubt about that. No doubt about that.
Good. I'm not a UCLA fan anyway, except for when they had.
Mark's like, I don't care.
Except for when they had Baron Davis.
Well, Mac is not a fan of too many teams, that's for sure. In the NCAA ranks, that's for sure. You know, Duke being one of them. Yeah.
You know what? What did I say at the beginning of the year that I was liking Duke? I like the players on the team.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of was looking. I like the way they played earlier in the year. So part of me is gleeful that they took a L, and part of me is like, oh well, but they had a good season. Zion Williamson is the truth. RJ Barrett is the truth. All those guys have bright futures, and I didn't watch yesterday's game. I watched the previous two games.
Okay.
That were nail biters that they barely escaped. You can't go through the tournament like that. You can't.
No.
You can't barely escape. And Michigan State was that one. Tom Izzo now he has 14 losses against Coach K and 2 big wins.
I'm going to tell you, as far as a Final Four team to watch out for, I think y'all need to watch out Texas Tech because they play really good defense.
Mm-hmm.
And they could be a sleeper to win. I mean, I know people probably aren't picking them because of obviously either Virginia or Michigan State because of Izzo, but I mean, and of course Bruce Pearl with Auburn, being the kind of the sentimental pick because of their low seed and the young man who tore his ACL. But I tell you, this Texas Tech team seems to be hungry. They play defense and they have a chip on their shoulders, like we don't care.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. To me, it seems to be like there's not a lot of pressure on them. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So, just like you said, what have you got to lose?
Hey, Ron.
Exactly.
Yo, what's up?
Can I rewind my Duke hat? because these are the things I've been saying all year about Duke. Slowly but surely, the national audience caught on to it. They can't shoot. They're not a good defensive team, and they relied a lot on Zion Williamson. R.J. Barrett cannot shoot. Reddish never stepped up to the big moment, even in the ACC tournament, guys. Again, I get to watch the ACC all year. So I see them play against the cupcake teams where their stats got padded. But if you watch them when the competition got greater, let's be honest, guys, they should have got bumped maybe 2 games ago.
Right.
Because of the same things we're talking about now. Their shooting, their defense, they're not a good rebounding team, minus Zion Williamson. What did they? I mean, I'm not saying these guys are a bust, fellas. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I'm not saying that whatsoever. I think Barrett may be a project. Reddish is going to be maybe even a bigger project. And you get to see it. See, again, you guys got to see it on the national stage. I watched them all year. And this is what I saw. I didn't think they would get to the Final Four. That's just me from watching them.
Right.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, I didn't see the game yesterday either, but I mean, from what I understand and read an article, there was a Zion Williamson actually got lost and he got used as a decoy in the final play. And I'm just trying to think out, what was Coach K thinking? I mean,
well, I can tell you right now, just like
even know
Mac. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
I don't even know if it's what Coach K was thinking. If you watched the game and you saw that final play, they looked chaotic.
Like they didn't know what they was doing?
One of the worst foul shooters tries to force his way to the basket. And he gets fouled. And what does he do?
He bricks him.
He misses one.
He missed one.
Exactly. So they sort of played into Michigan State's hand. It was kind of weird to watch. But again, guys, I don't mean to sound like Nostradamus. And I'm not. I'm just going by what I've seen all year with them. It's minus White trying to step back instead of going to the basket against North Carolina, against Duke in the ACC tournament, the semis. Duke loses to North Carolina 3 times this year. 3 times, with and without Zion. They couldn't keep up with North Carolina. North Carolina's pace was too much. And that's another thing. Their pace was methodical. It was Zion and somebody else trying to shoot an outsider. Again, guys, look at the numbers. They was 300 and something in 3-point shooting in the NCAA. Wow. To get as far as they got was really, minus the name Duke, it was amazing. Let's just be honest. It was amazing.
I think they got a little bit of luck, but like you said, Dom, I think their luck ran out.
Yeah, their style of play ran out.
I'd have to agree with that. Again, you've seen these guys struggle twice, with 2 games previously, and it was just par for the course. That once I saw that second, the second victory by a point or 2, I kind of figured it was done, because we're seeing 2 straight games like that, and it's obvious that they were struggling.
And Virginia Tech had a chance to beat them too.
Right.
And they missed that lob, or at least a tie to go to overtime.
Right.
They missed 2. They missed 2 plays going down the wire. They missed a layup where they had like a 2-on-1, and I was sitting watching it. I was like, "Oh, that's the game right there."
Here's the weirdest thing about the other 2 games, guys. The other team blew the opportunity.
Right.
Yep.
Right. They did.
Duke wasn't put in the position to make a play to win or even tie like last game. The other team blew golden opportunities. And that lets you see the wheels were, if not coming off, they were a little loose.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely agree with you, gentlemen.
So I know Williamson's going to get drafted fairly high, but is he ready to play now, or does he need some time to sit and just kind of learn what's going on?
No, he's
No.
ready to play. He's ready to play in the NBA. He's not gonna be. He's gonna be a decent player, in the NBA. But he's ready to go to the NBA.
Now, when you say this decent player, is he gonna? I have to ask you this, Mac. Is that gonna be in the sense of him being a difference maker?
Depends on what team he goes to, and it depends on if they play to his strengths and not his weaknesses. He's a physical specimen, and he can take people off the dribble. So you want him to be a face-up guy. Certain people he could take inside in the paint, and he has to work on his three-point shooting. He can hit them,
Right.
but he's not super efficient taking a three. So this summer he should work on it. He should be shooting threes right now as we speak, because that's the biggest.
If he goes to any team other than the Knicks, and I'm a Knicks fan, serious. If he goes to any team other than the Knicks, he will explode from the gate. He will explode because I'm not saying he'll be relied upon more, but I think he'll have a more free style of play. And that's great for a guy his age, first year in the league. But if he goes to the Knicks with the extra pressure, the Fizdale's chaotic rotations, I don't have a lot of faith in Fizdale just yet. I think he would best serve going. If he went to Phoenix, wow.
You know what? Know what, Dom? I think Fizdale wouldn't do him like he's done other people. He'd have to play Zion every game and play him a lot of minutes.
If
well, no, not even if. I think he's more talented than Kevin Knox, and I think Kevin Knox has some talent, but Kevin Knox also, his IQ isn't there yet, especially defensively. And he just seems unsure of himself offensively, and defensively he's lost. He's lost.
The only thing that questions me, I'm sorry, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say Knox needs to work on his overall game this summer and just work on his confidence. I think he has some confidence issues. And defensively he needs to work on that. He needs to work on his defensive IQ.
And that's what scares me about Barrett. I see Kevin Knox in Barrett. I think he's seen the signs of somebody in his ear saying he'll be a lottery pick, and I think he has a lot to work on. The only thing about Fizdale, guys, and I'll let it go from here. He has no track record. He has no track record as a head coach. It's a losing track record, to be quite honest.
How so? He took Memphis to the playoffs.
Yeah, but he caught them on the butt end of them just getting rid of that coach. That coach made that team. The coach prior to him, I forgot his name. He made that team. The biggest thing you hear about Fizdale is when he was an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not taking no credit from him. I just see a lot of, for an example, if you're developing play like they say they've been doing all year, you don't see a lot of in-your-face development players, like with a Kevin Knox, who will build townhouses in Midtown Manhattan, and he just goes to the bench, and I don't know what goes on behind closed doors, guys. Don't get me wrong. I just don't see that aggressiveness in him, where he'll get in your ass
or Fizdale
for not performing, and you're developing, and his record speaks for itself. Developing or not developing, 14 wins in a season, guys, is unacceptable in today's NBA. I don't care if you're tanking, spanking, yanking. That's unacceptable.
Well, Dom, they wanted to tank, and look at the players they had after they got rid of the Courtney Lees and the Tim Hardaway Juniors. They wanted to tank, so they happy with being with 14 wins. He knows that. He knows he didn't get much to work with. They try to give him a shot in the arm with getting DeAndre Jordan, who I think he can help next year because he's a solid veteran and he's a leader. He's been a winner. He's got some accolades. He can be a voice that they listen to. And I like DeAndre Jordan. Like I had posted on Twitter, he's shooting 70-something% from the free throw line, 77 as a Knick, and 70% for the year. So he went and worked on his game.
Mm-hmm.
And
he was a good find.
Right. And his work ethic, also he's helped Mitchell Robinson and he's helped some of the other younger players. The Knicks need to get they can run after the big name. Hopefully they get one. But they also need to get a solid veteran guy like a DeAndre Jordan or somebody like that who can help the locker room and help further whatever Fizdale is trying to do. Even Fizdale said he needs better defensive players. He said especially on the wing and at the guard position. The guards suck defensively.
He's a perfect fit, Mark, because this is something the Knicks over the past 3 years have avoided. They don't treat their veterans right. They let them walk out the door. We take the one and done players, and then next year we'll be trying to fill 10 roster spots again. Right. You know, sooner or later, you got to have some sort of presence. And I love DeAndre Jordan. I thought that was the best pickup the Knicks got in quite some time. But that's been the Knicks' Achilles heel. They use these guys for a year, pat them on their back and say, thanks. And then you go into next year saying you're developing, but you got no adult leadership.
Right.
It's weird. This is make or break for me. I don't want to hear nothing else after this summer.
Right. Since we're talking about the Knicks, Dennis Smith Jr. has displaced discs in his back and inflammation. I'm looking at the Knicks like, so y'all did it again. Y'all got a big name because Dennis Smith Jr. was a big name in the draft, and he's an exciting player when he's healthy. I wonder if they checked out his medicals before they got him.
They had to have, but
that's their type of player. Injured. They had to check it. Like, oh, he's injured. We'll take him. You know, because we're getting rid of one injured player already. We got to replace him. I know that sounds crazy, but let's take a look at their history. Take a look at their past. Has this not been a repeated pattern with the team? So yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Are the Knicks playing you to the left? At the end of the year, they're going to sit any player that might help them win if you believe in the tank method.
Right.
You know, I don't buy a lot of this stuff. That's why I said, guys, come this summer, I don't want to hear jack, nothing, because you changed your plan 3 times in 1 year. So come this summer, your plan better be whatever plan it is, and let's roll. I don't want to hear no more alibis, no more excuses. Period.
I feel you on that, but here's the thing. I got bad news for you, brother. It's going to change again. You understand? And you're not gonna be satisfied with the result. I guarantee you that. You understand? First of all, they're gonna wind up with the 4th pick. You know, I mean, I'm sorry, I see it already. They're gonna fail. You know, I hate to sound like that, but I've seen this movie on more than one occasion. Just as you. You know what I'm saying? Just as you all have. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not speaking, out of turn or talking crazy. We've seen this movie before. You know what I mean? So it's just par for the course for me. I'm not even shocked. That's why I'm not even a fan anymore, to be honest. I'm sick and tired of that nonsense.
There's a reason we have almost 300 L's in 5 years.
Exactly.
Let's just be honest.
You know what I mean? Exactly.
100 L's,
yeah. You know what I mean? That's just what it is.
Worst team in the NBA in 18 years.
Yep.
We're talking a lot of bad teams in the NBA in 18 years, fellas.
Yeah, for real. You damn sure. You better believe it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're on the top.
You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell paying customers that.
Oh no. Or those idiots on Twitter that Mac has to deal with.
Oh Lord.
You can't tell us nothing.
We had this conversation last week, Mark, about Twitter, remember?
Yeah. I had to, you know what I know what I'm starting to do to people?
What's that?
Oh, since you want to talk negative towards me, I'm gonna flag your account, get your stuff off of
Oh
Facebook.
yeah,
I mean off of Twitter.
yeah. Twitter, right?
Since
Yeah, that
since you dude told me I was retarded because Gettleman's a clown and the Giants,
Mhm.
you know, not to get off the basketball subject, the Giants don't have any super accomplished receiver that you're gonna sit back and say, you know what? I got a game plan for this guy. Who's game planning for Golden Tate, Ingram, and Sterling
Nobody.
Shepard?
Mhm.
You had the game plan for Odell Beckham.
Yep.
Shermer's a sucker. He wants to call this man. What do you call me for? You got me. You wanted me traded. Don't call
Mhm.
me. But you know, getting back to the Knicks. Like we said, we seen this movie before. Big names, you know, always
Mhm.
getting the big names and doing nothing. Like Dom said, I said it in our group. Their record stinks. It
Well, no
stinks,
doubt, no doubt.
Speaks for itself.
Exactly.
and
Speaks
they
for
will
itself.
continue to stink because the owner doesn't care because he's worth that organization is worth $3 billion. So
Mhm.
Yep.
he
Yep.
he he wakes up in the morning and looks at his bank accounts and smirks. I know he
See,
does.
well, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? If you was him, let's keep it real. Wouldn't
Yes.
you? Yeah,
Yes.
anybody would. If anybody on this line had a chance to trade places with Dolan, James Dolan, they would. You know why? You're not spending any money on any type. You don't want any type of good talent on your team to make them competitive, but yet your bank account is filled with money. You
Oh no,
understand?
he spends money or he spends money
Oh,
on talent. He
Okay,
spends money on
okay,
big names.
big
the
right.
bad
Of course,
talent.
the
Amari
bad. Yeah,
Stoudemire.
But
yeah. You understand?
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this, guys. And even
Mm-hmm.
that alibi is going out the window this year because
Mm.
everybody was hyped on this dream team he put in place with Perry, Mills, and Fizdale.
That's not a dream
So
team.
I'm
More
not
of a
buying
nightmare.
that no more either. This
Yeah, it's more like
this is your ball to run with now. I don't want to
Word.
hear nothing else, guys. You had all of these hopes and prayers, even Porzingis. We're just gonna trade him out the blue. No, he didn't want to be there. He don't want to be there. He ain't got time for that. And most players don't. That's what makes it so hard for me to believe the Knicks are gonna land some major free agent. That's because you got to think about it, guys. And I don't want to get winded, but think about it. The average big name free agent is going to be within the age limit of 28 and 30 years old. Are they going to wait around 3 years for this to pan out? No. Not when they can take their talents. They're going to get the same money. Why not go somewhere where you at least are competing right from the gate?
Mm-hmm.
Unless the Knicks get every free agent in free agency, I don't see that happening.
Ain't
You
gonna
know
happen.
that's not gonna happen. I can tell that straight up right now. That's not gonna happen.
No.
No freaking way.
So can we, since Dom mentioned Mr. Porzingis, can we
Oh
bring that
yeah.
up real quick?
Oh for sure. Real quick. We might be on this for a minute.
Well, I mean, I have an opinion, and
Okay.
again, I know that there was a gentleman in the group yesterday that wasn't too thrilled with some opinions,
Right. Of course.
but
You're gonna get that. Mm-hmm.
and I mean, I respect his opinion, and I understand that he's entitled to what he thinks, but this is my whole take on it. Again, this is just my opinion. The alleged victim waited to file charges.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also from I understand that article, turned down 68 G's to pay for her brother's college. Now, I don't know exactly what happened that night that the alleged victim says what happened in question. But I do know something did happen, and I believe that the person in question was not thrilled with services rendered and wanted a little bit more, if you know what I understand what I'm saying.
Damn. Okay.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, because if she alleged happens what happened, she would have been at an NYPD precinct that next morning.
Or the hospital.
Or the hospital. So that's why I call, yes, I know the investigation has to play out and all this other stuff, but I just have to kind of ask questions of why this wasn't brought sooner, and other things that have come to light just kind of makes me a little bit leery. I'm not saying that this stuff doesn't happen. I'm not saying that, that other things happen. It's just, and I'm not saying this because the dude's white, all that other nonsense. It's called guilt and innocence.
I feel you.
Yeah, that's just my take on it.
Okay, you know what? Go ahead, Dom. I'm sorry.
I think the part that throws me for a loop, guys, without being judgmental, according to the story, Porzingis and his people contacted federal agents, the NBA, the Knicks, a while ago with this extortion.
Right.
Then this comes out about a rape. So now, unless they were smart enough to put the cart way before her horse, it just, I don't know, guys, maybe I'm a little skeptical because I'm old school and I remember what happened to Mike Tyson, Tupac.
Right.
My man, forgive me for saying this, ladies, if you're listening, my man radar goes up. That we know you cannot deny both incidents happen, rape and extortion. We can't deny this, man. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. You can't deny this. And don't get it twisted, guys, with the Me Too movement and, all of this stuff, that opportunities exist. I'm not saying that's the case here, guys. It's just strange, like I said. They reported this long ago, long before the Knicks traded Porzingis. Federal agents have been looking into this. The NBA knew about this. The New York Post only talked about it Saturday when she came out the closet. And then actually had the nerve to say about the $68,000. That's kind of strange, guys. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not studying law. That man radar goes up because, again, like the Knicks, we've seen this movie and we've seen some people, though we don't know the whole story, we've seen some people, again, Tyson, Tupac, do prison time behind things that we scratch our head about. Really? I mean, it's I ain't taking sides. I'm just being weary.
Here's my take.
Yo, brother, you being real. You understand? That's just what it is, man. And after Max said something, I'm gonna add something to that. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, man.
Okay, thank you all. Listen, the story says he was injured that day and he raped her that night. I just don't see it. I've been injured playing sports before. Not as bad as not as severe as a torn ACL, but I've hurt my back. I've broken a bone in my ankle when I thought it was a bad sprain. I'm not thinking about having sex while in pain. He tore his ACL. I seriously don't think he's trying to rape anybody. Now it's possible and it's plausible that could happen. Her story doesn't shake out either. And the gentleman in the group, he didn't read the story. I suggested that he read the story and maybe he changed his perspective a little bit before he jumped on that bandwagon. And no disrespect to him because we love his participation with us. But her story is shaky, and like Dom, we've seen cases where women use the rape allegation to get money and get certain men in trouble. So I'm sort of, I want to see more information. I want to know if KP, you got to put some cameras in your house. Were the cameras in the hallway leading to your apartment? Because I want to see how she went in to your apartment, how she left your apartment. Are there cameras in the building? I want to see her movements during that day, because I know there are cameras probably in the hallways and elevators of that building. So if he was smart, that's what his lawyers should look into. That's what the police should look into, and the FBI. And it's a weird case, and I'm not on her side. And when I first saw the story, when you posted, I was like, oh snap, damn. Then I read it, I was like, nah. Go ahead,
Yo, dude, let me tell you something. My thing is, and I just said this in the chat room, there's too much nonsense going on. You understand? And I don't know, too many inconsistencies. One thing is that from the story that I read was that she's been in this dude's apartment before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you've been there before, I mean, you know what I mean? I'm like, what's going on here? Then I'm hearing, this happened the night of, after his injury and whatnot. And like I'm like, yo, you're gonna get busy and you got a freshly, you know what I'm saying?
Torn ACL.
ACL or whatnot. I'm like, come on, that sounds correct. I mean, it's just too much. We're not really getting the full information as of yet. We're in the very early stages of this whole case, this whole scenario. You understand? So right now, I mean, all of us probably like kind of like fuzzy. You understand? And trying to just like try to tell her how we don't really know yet. There's not enough information. You know what I'm saying? But again, I think on both sides, there's some BS. It could be a little, it could be a lot, but that's the gut feeling that I'm getting, is that it's some BS. You understand? On both sides. And again, I could be proven wrong. It could sway to one side or the other. We don't know. Right now, the information we have is not really enough. It's not conclusive enough, in my opinion.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I mean,
also, are there text messages between him and the young lady?
I would imagine so.
What is in those text messages? Also, I read earlier today she was trying to get in a relationship with him. She had feelings for him. So maybe he didn't have feelings for her like that. Like, Dom alluded to something like that.
Here's the funny thing about the text messages. If the story is correct, Porzingis and his people turned over the text messages.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not going to say if you're guilty and you have money to hire lawyers, the last thing you're going to do, unless you're subpoenaed,
is turn over text messages.
Right.
We saw it with the Jussie Smoltz thing. Didn't want to give up his phone.
Right.
And that's your right. That's your right. The FBI does have a way to get into your phone.
Right.
So you can play that dozen. You could do that if you want. But they will find a way to get into there. But he turned it over. So you know what they say, man. If it walks like a duck.
Yeah.
Forgive me.
You know what? Nah, that's all good. But listen, man. We keep it real here. You gotta be honest, man, with your feelings and your thoughts. You understand? There's nothing wrong with that. Let me just say this. The one thing that I think that guys like KP and any type of star player, be it in New York or wherever state, you understand, this country should do. Follow the model of Derek Jeter, please. I mean, I'm sorry. I just don't understand what the freak. Why won't you put out a contract? You understand? Whatever we do in here, blah, 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 stand by that, get it done. That's it, man. You ain't. Oh my Lord, it kills me when I see these players involved Accusation is my dog.
or be like the Dallas Cowboy offensive lineman who has videotape of all his conquests that
Whatever.
come to his crib. He
Yeah,
got
but he
videotape.
doesn't know about it. Exactly.
He presented them in
saying?
court and he got off. He beat his rape case.
Right. But I'm just saying, dude, my thing is this. Again, I'm so sick of that. Yo, any athlete, any professional athlete, you understand what I'm saying? Especially a star. You understand what I'm saying? They could get that without question, without even thinking about it. You understand what I'm saying? My thing is protect yourself. Protect yourself by all means, be it videotaping or be it by listen. You coming back to my place?
But
Sign this waiver.
the problem with that are, and you're absolutely correct.
Okay.
Education, youth times lack of education times too much money. Just you said Derek Jeter. You remember when Derek Jeter was getting caught going to clubs and all of this stuff when he was younger? And George Steinbrenner pulled him in his office and said, enough is enough. Period.
Okay.
Enough is enough. Because guess what? Enough was enough. And, you know, he was smart enough to realize this, that I play for one of the greatest organizations in the world. Maybe I should comply. But you see this far too often now, with these young players. I'm not knocking their education or lack thereof, but it is a factor. You know, it is a factor. And then you times that by the people they surround themselves with, and you got a recipe for disaster.
Well, you know what, Dom, sometimes you can have the right people around you and still get caught up in foolishness. Look at Kobe Bryant.
You're absolutely right about that, because you got the situations like now where again, we're shaking our head, we're scratching our head. It don't sound right. But a lot of it, though, Mark, is you're right. You're absolutely correct. But a lot of it is you're putting yourself in that position where somewhere, somehow, again, we're older and we've been through stuff, but you got to have that realization that this can happen. And you've seen it happen. Come on, guys. You don't always got to learn from your mistakes. We see enough of them around us.
Yep.
Just be conscious of what you're doing, man. It's
and who you're doing it with and how well you know them. Remember the guy who was on the Knicks? He was a top draft pick and he was here for 1 year. Was it Smith? Derek Smith, I think his name was. You might remember his name. Dom. He's a power forward, small forward.
Charles Smith.
Not Charles Smith. It was something Smith or Williams. But anyway, my point is he went out one night and he brought a girl home, and the girl waited till he went to sleep and she took all his watches.
Yeah.
Gotta watch who you have around you, who's in your camp, and you gotta, you know, and to get back to Derek Jeter, he didn't necessarily stop partying. He just partied smarter.
Right, exactly. Matter of fact, the incident you're talking about, Mark, wasn't that in a subliminal Biggie song?
No, this happened fairly recently, maybe 2-3 years ago.
You remember that one?
Right.
See, this is what I mean. We've seen this over and over again, guys. This didn't happen yesterday. This shit's been going on for too long for you not to be, I don't even want to say conscious. That would be too easy of a word. I don't know, guys. It's
and Ronaldo, a soccer player, he got accused of the same shit as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that one I find weird because trust me, I ain't swinging from that side of the fence.
Right.
But that's a handsome individual.
Exactly. Ronaldo is wants.
I can't imagine.
The fingers, and he has a flock.
I'm just saying.
Whatever he wants. So yeah, I'm calling bullshit as well.
What's that saying the young people use? No homo.
Oh, no. Yeah. It was Derek Williams.
Williams.
$750,000 worth of jewelry stolen from him by two women that he brought back to his crib.
Mm-hmm.
He was asleep in
And
there.
what was the question? What was the question, Mark? What would you be doing with that much jewelry in your house?
I'm not a
shit's been
jewelry
locked up.
person, so it'd be locked up. But you know why he got, Dom? He used to post on Instagram and Facebook his jewelry. So these people watch you. When you go to clubs, it's people that already know who you are. So they already had scoped him out. So he got.
Who's the kid? Who's the kid that got hooked up with the stripper the Knicks drafted?
Oh, the young guy, the second
From
round draft
Virginia
pick.
Tech.
Right. He went to a strip club in Queens and got shot.
Yeah.
And robbed.
Yeah. Guys, we could spend 2 hours going over these stories.
You already know.
They're out
Oh,
there.
it was Clay Anthony.
Yeah, Clay Anthony Early.
Wow.
He got shot and
Remember
robbed.
that? Yeah.
Wow.
Messing with the strippers.
You got that right. Yo, back.
Yes, sir.
Let's get into that other story that kind of ties in with this. What's that guy's name? What's my man's name? The boxer.
Kubrat Palet.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Kubrat Palet. Yo, you see this? Okay. I don't know if you know about this, but there was this female that was interviewing my dude, and I guess he wound up kissing her.
Yeah.
You know,
After his fight.
on the lips. After his fight, he kissed her, and you know, it was on the lips for like about 3, 4, 5 seconds, something like that.
Yeah.
And you know, she was like, "Well, all right," you know, like kind of like, you know, whatever. But then she goes out soon after, talking. You want to sue dude? You talking this nonsense? But then, even after that, there was a video of this chick lap dancing on the same guy.
Prior to that.
Oh, was it prior? So
it was prior. Right.
I thought it was after. All right, pardon me. You know
either way,
after.
she was still doing things that would lead him to think, yo, I could kiss you because we done hung out. You done gave me a super lap dance. You what you wore was suggestive, and not saying that kissing somebody when they don't want to be kissed is wrong, you know, because it is wrong. But they already hung out together. They already established some sort of familiar. I can't say that word. Say that word for me, y'all. Familiar. Somebody say that word for me. They were familiar with each other. Thank you.
Right.
She's full of it. I can't be mad at him for kissing you.
You know, it's just really weird to me. I'm like, if you're doing this prior, you damn right think I got the listen. You up here grinding on me and whatnot, and smiling and laughing and having a good time doing it. Why wouldn't I think I had the right to kiss you? I'm sorry. You hung out previously. Some other stuff probably went on that we don't know about. You know what I mean? So why wouldn't you think that? And again, I'm not advocating, you know, rape or unwanted advances or whatnot. But come on, at some point, yo, you know, lines are crossed there. You understand what I'm saying? What are you sending out mixed messages? Stop with the bullshit. I'm sorry, and if I'm wrong for saying that, it is what it is. I'll deal with that. You understand? But come on, stop sending out mixed messages. You know.
Right, I agree with you.
I mean, I'm just saying. To me, it's fucked up. Shit ain't right. You know what I mean? It's not right.
And you know what, though we may sound on one side of the fence, it's almost come to that point because not to get all social, but our backs are against the walls now. You know, and that's scary true. I'm not taking away from nothing. Please, nobody misunderstand what I'm saying. I am not taking away from anybody's allegations, situations. I'm just saying that it's come to the point now where you have to be really, I mean, our backs are against the wall, guys. So you really got to be careful.
Right. At
Not
work,
everybody's your name.
right. At work, oh yeah, he got away with one. At work, I can't even I don't, but I've always been this way at my jobs. I don't mention how a woman is dressed because that could get you in trouble even if you say you look nice today.
Yeah.
She could still go to HR on you. I say good morning. If they make a comment on how I'm dressed, I say thank you and keep it moving.
Keep it moving, right?
You know, and this is how we gotta move now as men, because I've worked at some. Hold on, Don. Hold on, Don. I've worked at some places where I watch dudes be real reckless and sort of get away with stuff, and that just wasn't me. I'm like, I'm at work, so I'm just chilling. Good morning, keep it moving.
Because they'll only, the thing is, and again, I don't want to sound like a male chauvinist, but
Right.
some will lead you to that water where you feel comfortable. And then when it hits the fan for them, now all of a sudden you become the target.
Right.
And that's really, really sad. You can't even have fun no more. You know, come on, guys. You remember the days. Oh man, look at that, honey. Do that now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Honey.
You even take a chance on that, and somebody's gonna get offended, get this, that, and the other.
Right.
I'm to the point where I don't even, y'all, I thank y'all for inviting me on. I don't have nobody else to talk to. I don't have nobody else to talk to.
Right.
I heard that, brother. I heard that.
So, AR, can we talk
real
about
quick,
Kyrie's
breaking
dumbass?
news. What's that again?
Can we talk about Kyrie's dumbass?
Oh no.
But yeah, we're gonna get into that, right? I just want to put something out there real quick,
Certainly.
for you guys. And again, this is like current events, real quick. They found this dude guilty on all charges. That guy Chanel Lewis, the guy that was accused of murdering that Queens jogger Karina Vetrano.
Right.
That retrial, he's guilty on all charges. Wanted to put that out there. You know, since we do talk more than sports, obviously. I think that's ridiculous anyway. I think that father did it. He's behind it.
Yep.
But I'll leave that for another show.
Right.
You know, I think that's some bullshit.
I love
but now you want to get on.
I love the social commentary.
Hello?
I know I've read somewhere before the show about that rapper that got killed in LA.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that too. My man, I shouldn't say my man because I don't know him like that. Yeah, Nipsey Hussle, you know, which I think is a damn shame. Obviously, brother was doing some stuff. Now I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna front to anybody. I don't know too much about the dude's music because I'm not into that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm old school. You know, every once in a while I might hear something current that I like. For the most part, I don't know his music. I'm not gonna sit here in front and fake the funk for the fans and shit. I'm not doing that. However, I do know the brother was doing some stuff that wasn't related to his music. You know what I'm saying? And I had a healthy dose of respect for him in his efforts. You understand? And rest in peace to the brother. I think there's some shadiness going on with that. You know, I know people have been putting out stuff about the Illuminati and all that other nonsense. I don't know about all that, but I do think there was some shady business going on behind the scenes. You know.
Here's the only thing I say about that, which I say about the thing that people are always missing with the inner city. You didn't hear no bleeding heart liberal or politician get up today and say, gun violence, let's take the guns off the street. You didn't hear none of that today, did you?
No. And you won't.
And you won't. because you didn't hear about it when there was 1,048 homicides in Chicago 2 years ago. You didn't hear it then. So they need to knock that nonsense off. I'm not anti-gun or for gun. I understand the Constitution. I understand the right to bear arms, but don't play me stupid when you see this going on every day in the inner city and you turn your head on it. And when you want to make a point, you want to get some points from somebody for some goddamn election, now all of a sudden you want to become the anti-gun person. And of all places this happened in is in LA. That's what really annoyed me. The most liberalist state that's against everything under the sun, but what are they for? That's what cracks me up. And I won't say nothing else about that. It's annoying.
Yeah. Let me just say this about Nipsey Hussle. I'm a little familiar with his music. He has some bangers. But I was more in tune with what he was doing as a businessman and as an activist. He was trying to bring truces to the gangs, to the gang war that has been going on for over 30, 40 years in LA. He was trying to make change. Very progressive brother. He was trying to bring people together peacefully. He was trying to bring younger people up to be businessmen and to not be in the gang life, because he said he did that. That's how he came up. And he didn't want to see other people have to come up that way, other younger people come up that way. And for me, gangbangers can't shoot, man. Dudes in the hood can't shoot. He got shot 5 times, center mass, and 1 in the head. That's a clean kill. That's an assassination.
Right. I hear you, brother Holla. I hear you right there. Peace, brother.
Oh, y'all can hear me?
Got some background noise.
Yeah, I'm at a train station.
But it's an assassination.
Yeah, you might have a little background noise, but I can hear you.
Can I mute that? I don't know how to mute it.
Right.
No?
You sounded clearer.
Yeah, that's because the train's going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Also in the chat room, our brother Jamal Omar said Nipsey was very forward thinking. Very true.
Right.
The thing is too, I heard about the description of the suspect was a black man in his 20s. I don't know if they just put that out there, but that's what's circulating around allegedly. If this is true, damn, that kind of breaks my heart, man. Because what they were saying, like if it was a brother, why would you want to take somebody down? It's like kind of that crabs in a bucket mentality. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to see anybody grow, you know what I'm saying, or shine, so to speak. So you got to take them out, Right. That's why I can't stand that. That shit so infuriates me to a point where my fucking head was exploding. You understand? So you take this young man out after he's trying to do things, for your community, and it just boggles my mind of why this man had to be murdered. It's senseless.
Yeah.
And it so pisses me off, man.
Well said, or.
Oh, okay, thank you. I get nervous when nobody says anything after. Like, am I by myself or what? But yeah, man, I just so can't stand that, man. There's always that bullshit. I'm like, what? Damn, man. It's like we can't have nothing. We can't accomplish nothing. What the? I mean, damn. This is annoying, man.
If it's not the crabs in the barrel, it's somebody else who doesn't want to see something grow, but they still go and get a crab to do it.
Right. Definitely.
There's just too many ways. There's too many ways to look at it, though. You know, you're interfering with their business too.
Right.
You know, we know how gangs roll. They don't want you infiltrating the youth they're trying to infiltrate either. Matter of fact, we had this conversation when you left a couple of shows ago, or how it was when we grew up. You know, we went through these struggles. You know, we didn't go to these extremes, though we've seen these extremes. We didn't go through these extremes. People are so easily manipulated now, and with social media, they get even quicker manipulated. It's, you know, it's a war, you know, and everybody wants a piece of that pie. What pie? I truly don't understand, guys. You know, we grew up in New York where there was gangs and all of that, and you know, it was an easy way out for people that had nothing or thought this was it. You know, I could be a part of something. You know, you didn't want to be a part of the PAL, the DYA. You wanted to be in a gang. You know, where did that get you? I had this conversation earlier with somebody that, you know, you got to step up and you got to realize what's best for you, how to get you out of this situation, not a group. You know, the more the merrier does not apply in these situations. No. Forgive me for ranting, but we had this conversation too. And ironically, this happens.
How
about that?
My take is a little bit harsher.
Yeah, I didn't just say something before I. Well, and then speak about it. Speak on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You sound a little low, but we can hear you holler.
Yeah. Do we really care? Honestly, like, and I'm not talking about individually. I'm talking about collectively. Do we really care? Because after this dude is in the ground, it's going to be another story of another black man getting killed, and on and on and on and on, and the story continues, and we don't get tired of it. Apparently, we're gonna love this place until it kills us. But I'm the crazy one though. I'm the retarded one. Everybody else got sense, but I'm the stupid one. Because I'm talking about us having our own shit and getting the fuck out of this place.
Right.
But that's crazy talk. It's much more reasonable to just sit in the same situation and get your ass killed over and over again.
Yeah.
You know what else is there? After people get through tweeting and posting, what's gonna happen?
Back to the same old till the next one.
Yeah. Exactly.
And if anybody offers a suggestion of something different, then they're looked at as some crazy radical or extremist. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna put myself on mute because these trains are starting to come.
Okay, brother. You're right. No, but he's right though. He's 100% right because, you know, when last time you heard about Trayvon Martin, you know what I'm saying? I could go on and on and on with a whole list of names of people that's been just, you know, unjustly slaughtered, murdered. You know what I'm saying? And it goes on and on and on and on. But yet we still want to stay here. You know, I'm just so fucking tired of this bullshit. Yeah, I really am. You have no idea. You know, and I want to talk about for bringing up that point because, you know, sometimes it gets lost in the shuffle. You know, we don't think about this. You know, we don't. I mean, damn, what the fuck is going? Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little emotional here. I apologize, but again, it's just my raw emotion that's coming out of me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You speaking truth though, you and Holla. And it's sad. We got people who don't see.
What are you gonna do?
Well, we got people who don't see things the way we see them, and they continue to disparage what is trying to be done, and then
Right.
this happens, and then they're gonna go in outrage, and then come back and wait for the next outrage.
No, this is the damn shame, man. I'm just, boy, I tell you. Yeah, excuse me. It's just that rage, man. I'm so, you already know I want to leave. You know what I'm saying? There's no question about it. I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
At that, it's misty-eyed over this country, you know, for bringing me and my ancestors together and for treating it like shit. So my love for this, or so-called love for this country, isn't there. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, it hurts people's feelings and whatnot, but it is what it fucking is. You understand? After a while, when you wake up and you see the shit that goes on, you're gonna feel that way. That's just what it is. You know? So,
Yeah.
I know it was heavy. It was heavy. Okay, we're gonna get back to this stuff. I heard earlier about Kyrie Irving. I'm gonna get back into the sports, guys. I'm sorry about that. Let's get back to the sports section of this this podcast. Should I say? Kyrie Irving. This man's he's a problem. Not the some of the details of what his latest tirade was. I know about the one where he's continued to bury players, bury his coach. So give me a little more information on that, and we could chop up about that.
Okay. As we know, Boston has played up and down this season. They look good sometimes, and then they bafflingly look bad, look average. Kyrie has disparaged the team before. He's disparaged the coaches. There's word that he has said in the locker room, "I can't wait to leave this place," quote unquote. And most recently, he disparaged the team again, and he disparaged the coaches, and he disparaged the system that Coach Stevens is running. And I think it was after Kemba Walker bust their ass. My thing is, Kyrie, you're a point guard. Kemba's a point guard. Shouldn't you be guarding him?
Right.
Why is Marcus Smart and other people guarding him? You can't take up that challenge. You don't want that challenge, or are you not good enough defensively because you've never been a great defender? So that whole game, he didn't really check Kemba Walker, and other people did, but Kemba Walker chewed them up, and they lost. And
Who does Walker play for?
Charlotte.
I thought he was still in Charlotte, because Charlotte's been like, they have been like in the bottom cellar dweller. It's like if they make the playoffs, the damn city has a party, right?
Right.
Stop talking about my state.
I mean, the truth's the truth. I mean,
Charlotte is a mediocre team, and Dom knows that. Some years they made the playoffs with Kemba Walker, and they've not made the playoffs. This year they're mediocre again. But Kyrie is an ass, and he's being a diva. He hasn't realized he's not a superstar, and he has made Boston digress. He's made them regress, and without him, like we've all said, without him, where did Boston go? Almost to the finals.
Game 7.
Right. Without him.
So what do you think happens in Boston now? Do you think they finally realize they just get tired of his shit and say you're done, or
he can leave? I tell him to leave. I'd be like, bounce. Boston's still in good shape. They got draft picks and young players. I would, if I was Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens, I'd let him leave.
Like, bye.
All they got to do is not offer him a contract.
Right.
Yeah, because somebody else will pay him.
I mean,
well, he's going to get paid.
He's going to get paid. There ain't much to say after what Mark said. You know, he's just an ass.
I mean, it's like it's all about him, and he thinks he wants to be the big dog, but after now that he's away from LeBron, and it's like, I got news for you. You're not bigger than LeBron.
Nah, he ain't bigger than a lot of people in the NBA. He thinks he is.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where that came from. I mean, you're right, Mark. It's just a weird. We could
And he's
talk about
talented
Kyrie
too.
Irving,
He's
which most
talented.
have after the season. It's always something new with him. I mean,
Right.
you would think a person with talent, money, wouldn't need that kind of attention. But I said this to you once before, Mark, I think.
Right.
I wish somebody on his team would say what we said, grab him by his throat and say, we made it to the conference finals without you. Really?
Right.
Or break his leg and maybe they'll get better. I don't know.
I'll say that, but yeah, some sort of injury or something to say, well,
Yeah.
we ain't got him. Well,
And let me just say this. He's annoying. Yeah, Nico, you're live as well, brother. You know. Like I said, this guy, man, he's you know what?
You all right, or you faded out?
yeah, he went like, I think he's still having connection issues.
Yeah, R went out. I still hear him trying to talk. R, can you hear me? Can you hear me? We can't hear you. Yeah, Boston is they in a pickle because what are they gonna be, the 5th or 6th seed?
I looked at 5th right now, but that was kind of tenuous because they were kind of in a fight.
Right.
They're going to end up playing Indiana.
Yeah,
they'll
more
lose. I think Indiana without Oladipo will still beat them.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yo,
Hey, what's up?
yo, what's up, everybody?
What's up, Dom?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. So your thoughts on Kyrie Irving, and then we could swing back. I know you do want to talk about Nipsey Hussle, and I think you might want to talk about KP. But what are your thoughts on what Kyrie Irving is doing and has done this season to the Boston Celtics and their overall makeup?
He he's messed up the team, in my opinion.
Right.
It doesn't make sense for this team to be in the situation that they in. You know, they just. I told you, every time Kyrie is on that court, they look lost. They don't know what's going on.
Right.
Jason Tatum got all this talent.
Mm-hmm.
Why he should be scoring 25 a game? That should be his average.
8 rebounds, 4 assists.
That should be his average.
Right.
What is he doing out there? Then Terry Rozier, he ain't playing good. It's like it's a mess out there because of this dude, man. Straight up.
Yeah.
And I've been spoke about this, so
Yeah.
I'm glad everybody is seeing it. I'm glad the organization see it, and it's time for him to go.
Yeah.
No.
Jason Tatum is averaging 15.8 points a game. Last
Yeah.
year he averaged 13.9, but it's still not the same because towards the end of the year he started going off.
Yep.
He was going off in the playoffs for them.
Yeah. So.
I haven't seen him really go off this year.
Nope. He ain't getting the chance to, man. It's too much going on, man. It's too much going on with that team. They should have been moved some people, honestly. But they waited too late, so this is what they got to deal with. You're right. If they play against Indiana, they gonna lose.
Right.
Because Indiana is playing together. They hooping. Ain't nobody, on that team saying, well, shit, since Victor's gone, let me be the man. They all playing good ball.
Yeah.
And Boban, they keep on sleeping on him.
he gonna mess around and have 50 on you, easy.
Mm-hmm. Sabonis'
And
son.
it's funny. Indiana is playing the way Boston played last year when
Right.
Kyrie went.
Right, Dominique. And they were
Figure
playing
that
that
out.
way with Oladipo. He just was the
I'm
leader.
just saying, minus a star,
Right.
they still continue to play the way they played,
Mm-hmm.
just like Boston did last year when Kyrie went down. They got too much talent on that team. Let's just be honest. And
Yeah,
they'll
the
be able,
a
like Nico
lot
was
of
saying,
people picked them to be in the Eastern Finals this year.
yeah,
For the
like Nico
season.
said, Nico's right. They are going to move some pieces. I
They
just
have
think they're waiting for the right moment.
right. Well,
They got assets.
for me, they really don't have to move too many people, but Kyrie,
Yeah.
he gotta go. I got a question for y'all. Is it on Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge for not sitting Kyrie down and telling him, listen, you the leader of this team, you gotta act like a leader and not a spoiled brat?
Yeah, because it's like the dude is like messing up the chemistry of the team. And if they want to get another championship and this dude's not helping them, it says you need to either, check yourself at the door and calm down, or you got to go.
I got a funny feeling, Mark, that has been addressed. And it's probably been addressed by a lot of players. And he's just that headstrong that, first of all, you never hear them blatting out about this and that. Nobody else on the team.
Right.
It's always him talking. So maybe they come to the conclusion of, one, he's not going to lead us nowhere as far as helping these young players.
Right.
Maybe we'll just let this ship sail and we'll regroup next year.
Right.
They'll have to replace Horford. So they'll be able to use some assets to land somebody an upgrade from Horford, but they're still going to be good.
They're
going to be a good contender team.
I said I would keep Horford if I was them on a reduced price because he's 31. He can't get 100 million again.
But if you could package him and some of them young pieces and get Anthony Davis.
Oh yeah, I would do that. Yeah, of course.
That'd be the damn lottery right there.
Yep. And I think that's what they're positioning themselves toward. They're going to make a go at it at least.
Right. Right.
I mean,
you add him
a lot of money to land AD, but that would be a big swing for him to go from the Western Conference to the Eastern Conference, especially to a team that is playoff ready.
He's going to a contender, and you flip him, let Kyrie walk. You still got Rozier, Smart. They're still in a
Brown.
Pains me to say this as much as I hate Boston, but it is what it is. They're
in a good position.
Themselves.
Yeah, they could lose Kyrie and be fine, just like they lost him last year, and they were fine. And I want to get back to some more NBA talk, but I know Don wants to your thoughts on the KP situation first.
I didn't really look into that, so I can't even comment on that.
Okay.
It sounds crazy, but
Right. Your take on what happened with Nipsey Hussle and that situation.
It's sad.
Mm-hmm.
It's heartbreaking. Shit, it had me crying.
Right.
Because I actually watched that man's I watched his growth.
Right.
Like I just didn't just now catch wind of him. Like I've been known about him since about 08, 09.
Right.
So to see him actually talk about it and be about it,
mm-hmm.
and then it gets taken away from him. I mean, how can you not feel sad and cry about that?
Right.
Especially when you look at his interviews,
Mm-hmm.
and then research and see what he's really doing.
Right.
I mean, the man really didn't push no hate. He didn't put no hate in this world. They didn't get on the microphone and spew hate. Never hated on nobody on his interviews or anything.
Right.
So at this point, people not going to agree with me, but I've been said, fuck the black communities in the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
And this right here is a perfect example. What you gonna justify now?
Right.
So it's time to move on from this country at this point. And this wasn't no man who was giving out turkeys or donating to
Right.
charities. This man was actually employing felons, families,
Mm-hmm.
bought a strip to say, look, man, if y'all can't get a job nowhere else, come over here. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't no man who was sitting there playing on the internet all day, being a fake radical. So, at this point, it's time to just leave this shit alone.
Mm-hmm.
He already put in 10 years.
Right.
Showed and proved. I'm trying to figure out how much more we got to do for the black community in order for us to, I guess, get our shit together. That man took his rap dollars and went right back to where he came from.
Yep.
This shit hurts, man.
Yeah.
Straight up. I don't need to know this man personally to be hurt by it.
Right.
I'm still going because I already bought my tickets, but my plan was to go out to LA. I was gonna go to his shop
Mm-hmm.
and hope I run into him and talk to him, but I was gonna spend some bread at his strip
Right.
because I heard he be there a lot. Now I can't even do that because people hating
Right. Right.
and people want to say it's the government and all this shit. Stop with that bullshit, man. Government ain't got nothing to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
The city of Los Angeles it's wild right now.
I don't even think I want to move there now.
It's by the way, what's up, guys? Sorry,
That's you, Ryan?
Yeah, I've just been listening.
Okay. What's up, Ryan?
But I think I read somewhere earlier since last Sunday, like 20, almost 30 people have been shot, 10 people killed just in South LA.
Yeah, there's been some other drive-bys and shootouts.
No, like you just said, like it's the dude, regardless of, wasn't he shot in front of that store before? I think. I mean, I know he was connected back in the day to and it talked about with the Crips or whatever, but he
was a rolling 60 Crip.
Yeah, I mean, he took his money and hell was buying shoes for basketball programs, employing people, and I think more is going to come. They don't even know who the hell did it right now. It seems like they have no idea whatsoever how that happens in South LA. Beyond me, I read it a little bit ago. They don't even know what the hell he walked up, if he was on a bike or in a car. Where you can't even do that in the middle of Montana, where there's like 3 residents without somebody seeing something.
Right.
But yeah, it's a shame, man.
Yeah.
As far as the Porzingis, man, I just feel it's something weird. I think, I think more will come out. There's some weird things, but there's also some, hey, maybe, they shipped him out of New York really quickly. And, it's, I read before the show, I was reading an article. It said that New York NYPD are saying that I've never seen them call, like, athletes are always getting, females, and nothing against them, but there's been obviously many that don't shy away from trying to cry this stuff for money, and but I've never seen the law enforcement say this, like, she is credible, she is believable, and like talk about her like that. You know what I mean? Like, so it's but just wanted to chime in.
Okay. I got a question for you, Ryan.
What's up?
Any golf groupies?
Movies?
Golf groupies. Do y'all have groupies?
Oh yeah, I mean that's it's you can look up, hell, get on Google and look up just PJ Tour wives, and you'll see the biggest, most out of shape slob in the world married to just something that you just looks like that he's playing for $1 million a week. But yeah, no, especially if you get older, chicks, they don't mind it. That's for sure.
Okay. No, I asked because outside of Tiger Woods, I haven't heard of any golfer being in a sex scandal.
No, I mean, outside of the PGA Tour is very hush hush. When, like, you really got it. Like Dustin Johnson, for example, like he was suspended, like I think 3 years ago for they don't reveal failed drug tests until you fail a certain amount, and like then they don't even give the full details. Like he flat out failed like his third positive cocaine test before he was suspended.
Okay.
So like you don't really hear much their collective bar. They just it's kind of like to up the image, I want to say, probably, but at a certain point they sex scandals, no, but I mean, if you look hard enough, you'll read some stuff. I mean, Phil is there's talks of his wife banging Michael Jordan.
Hey.
Yeah, and that did some wild stuff, but now Tiger's just
okay.
You got 100 porn stars under your belt. It's gonna get out.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get back to some basketball. We talking about Kyrie Irving. What are your thoughts on the Celtics and Kyrie Irving, Ryan?
I mean, I like the comment. I'm not sure who asked it earlier when they said, "Do you think it's on Brad Stevens for?"
It was me.
Sitting down? Yeah, but now I think that it made me think of like that's what It was a good comment and question, simply because like that's what I really looked at him as making him such a great coach. It was his ability to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like how last year he took that team into the playoffs without the two stars and had them playing as a team. But now it seems like it's turned into like no one can control. I don't know. It's
right.
It just is down. All this hype in 1 year is now turned into just the Kardashians.
I got a question for the people on the line in regards to Kyrie and superstars. Are coaches? Do y'all think sometimes coaches are afraid to talk to a superstar, and that's why we see situations like Kyrie? We see what's going on with LeBron in LA, where it's just not. It's supposed to look good, but it's not looking good. It looks horrible. And then we see a team like Philadelphia coming into its own, and a team like Milwaukee coming into its own.
Well, LeBron, I mean, he's never really had like a coach, like somebody like a Pat Riley or somebody like that who can just get in your face and say, "This is how it's going to be," or else. I mean,
right.
So he just seems like LeBron's run the show no matter where he's been.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what Brad Stevens' problem in Boston, but you would have thought if this guy's messing up the show, I just need to let him go. But I mean, as far as it certainly has changed, and Mark, you can probably attest to this. Back in the old days, if somebody got out of line, that shit got put in check real quick.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And now it's just like, like Kyrie's like, oh, I got to get mine. It's all about me, yada, yada, yada. And just, I think in Boston, like I said, it's just the welcome's been worn out.
Right. Right. And he's not holding himself accountable.
No.
It's still the situation, Mark, because you bring up a great point with the coach in Milwaukee.
Right.
He's a coach's coach, and he has the talent and the young talent that he can mold and gel, and they can see 2 steps ahead.
Right.
But when you take a team like, or a player, I should say, like a Kyrie, upper management, coaching, players, there's so big a disconnect, that, oh my God, if we lose this guy, so all of a sudden now he's running the roost. Right. And then you get to the point where I'm assuming, again, just assuming, that Boston would not have one qualm in letting him walk this season.
Right. Right.
We've been over that. I mean, he probably, I don't know if he's intentionally burning his bridges, but he's doing a good job if he's not. I mean, if he's unintentionally doing it, he's doing it very damn well.
Right. 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 That's a great point, that he might be doing that so he can leave. But he shouldn't have to, because, well, you know what, Dom? Remember, he did say, and y'all notice, he said he was going to stay in Boston, didn't he?
Yeah.
Seems now he's kind of backtracking and showing in every kind of way he doesn't want to be in Boston.
He is one sensitive little dude.
Yeah, but my thing is,